Hey friends, welcome to the Time for Living podcast, your ultimate guide to finding the time you need to crush your business dreams while still having time to live your one beautiful life. I'm your host, Lucy Clark, a devoted boy mum, dedicated business owner and time-finding expert. Say goodbye to that I'm too busy mindset that's holding you back from growing your online business. No more feeling overwhelmed or stuck in the same place year after year. Each week, we'll dive deep into strategies for being intentional with your precious time so you can hit those business goals while still making time for yourself and your family. If you're ready to create more time, get practical tips and prioritize the steps that will make the biggest impact on your business and life, then you're in the right spot. Pop in your earbuds, steal a quiet moment, and let's find time together. So let's start here today. You've set boundaries, you've protected your time, you've said no to things that used to pull you off track. Maybe you've even blocked out your work hours, delegated a few things, or even hired help. And yet, the weight is still there. You're not scrambling the way you used to. Your calendar isn't a disaster, but internally, it still feels heavy, like you're constantly holding something even when you're not actively working. And here's what makes this so confusing. You're doing what you were told would fix it. You're managing your time. You're being intentional. So why doesn't it feel lighter? And first, let me connect this to something you might already have in place. If you've been listening recently, you know I've been talking about home and business systems, the Home Hub system and the Business Hub system. And if you joined the Home and Business Systems workshop, you already built that foundation. That foundation matters. It's what makes everything else possible. When your home is running on a system, you're not spending mental energy every single day figuring out what's for dinner or when laundry needs to happen. Those decisions are made. They're handled. That frees up space. When your business time is organized, you're not sitting down at your desk wondering what you should be working on. You open your system and you work. That's different. That's foundational. But here's what I've been noticing, both in my own business and in conversations with the women I work with. You can have all the time organized. You can have your home running smoothly. You can have your business hours protected. And your business can still feel harder than it should. This is the part where a lot of people start to wonder if they're the problem. If maybe they're just not cut out for this. If everyone else has figured out something they're still missing. But here's what's actually happening. And this is what we're going to walk through today. The issue isn't your time. It's not your schedule. It's not even your effort. It's the volume of decisions that are still resting on you, even when your time is protected. Because here's the belief most of us are operating from, even if we don't say it out loud. If running my business feels this hard, I must be doing something wrong. If I had better systems, better discipline, better focus, it wouldn't feel like this. And that belief, it quietly increases the pressure. Because now you're not just managing the business, you're managing the story you're telling yourself about why it's still hard. You're still scanning for what you're missing, what other people are doing that you're not, what course or framework or morning routine might finally make it click. And the whole time, you're assuming the problem is you. But here's what that assumption misses. Difficulty in your business doesn't automatically mean you're failing. Sometimes it means you're carrying more than the structure can hold. Let me say that again. Sometimes your business feels hard not because you lack discipline or clarity or follow through, but because too many decisions are sitting with you uncontained. And those decisions, they don't show up on your calendar, they don't trigger a notification, but they're there constantly. Should I respond to that email now or later? Do I need to adjust this offer? Is this the right time to post? Should I follow up with that person? What if I'm missing an opportunity? What if I'm doing too much? What if I'm not doing enough? And these aren't dramatic decisions. They're small, mundane even, but they add up. And when they're all resting on you, they create a constant hum of mental load that never fully turns off. That's not a motivation problem. That's a structural one. So why do we default to blaming ourselves instead of recognizing this for what it is? Because decision overload is invisible. You can't see it on a to-do list. It doesn't take space up on your calendar. It doesn't even feel like work in the traditional sense. But it is consuming your capacity constantly. Here's how it works. Every time a decision lands on you, even a tiny one, your brain has to process it, hold it, weigh out the options, Make a judgment call. And if that decision doesn't have a clear owner, a default answer, or a predictable container, it just stays with you. And the thing is, you're not making these decisions once, you're making them over and over again. Every time the same situation comes up. Should I send a welcome email manually or automate it? Do I need to check in with this client or wait for them to reach out? Is this inquiry worth responding to right now? Do I post today or wait until tomorrow morning? Each time you're redeciding, and each time it costs you a little bit of bandwidth. Now multiply that across every area of your business. Client communication, content, offers, operations, sales, follow-up. All of those tiny reoccurring decisions, they stack, and they stack silently. So by the end of the week, even if your calendar was manageable, you feel completely tapped. Not because you worked too many hours, but because you made too many decisions. And here's the part that really matters. This kind of cognitive load doesn't just make you tired, it affects your revenue. Because when your brain is full, you stop being able to see opportunities. You stop being able to think strategically. You start operating in reactive mode, just trying to keep up. And that's when the things start to slip. Not because you don't care, not because you're not capable, but because you've hit your decision capacity and there's simply no room left. So here's the reframe. Let's say it's not a time management problem, but it's a decision containment problem. And those are two very different ways of thinking about it. Time management is about protecting hours. It's about boundaries, schedules, saying no to things that don't serve you. Decision containment is about reducing the number of choices that require your active input. Let me give you an example. Let's say you blocked off Tuesday mornings for content creation. That's time management. You protected the time. But when Tuesday morning rolls around, you still have to decide, what am I creating? For which platform? What format? What topic? Should I batch this? Should I repurpose something? Is that the right message for right now? All of those decisions, they're still on you, and they're consuming the very capacity you were trying to protect by blocking off that time. Now imagine instead, Tuesday mornings are for podcast episodes. You already know the topic because it's part of a planned content series. You already know the format because you templated it. You already know where it's going and how it connects to your offer. Same amount of time, but wildly different cognitive load. That's decision containment. And here's why this matters for revenue. When decisions are contained, you have capacity left over. Capacity to notice patterns, to refine your offers, to respond to opportunities, to think strategically instead of just reactively. Revenue doesn't grow from working more hours. It grows from having the mental space to see where the actual levers are. And when your brain is constantly processing decisions, even small ones, you don't have that space. So if your business feels harder than it should, even though your time is protected, this is probably why. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because too many decisions are still resting on you, uncontained. So here's what I want you to hear. Nothing is wrong with you. If your business feels heavy right now, it's not because you lack discipline or focus or the right morning routine. It's because you're carrying a volume of decisions that no one can sustain without strain. And the solution isn't to try harder. It's to start noticing where those decisions are accumulating and then slowly, strategically, creating containers for them. Not all at once, not perfectly, just one decision at a time. Because here's the truth. Relief doesn't come from managing your time better. It comes from reducing what your brain has to hold. So here's your invitation. Not an assignment, just a gentle noticing exercise. Pick one area of your business where decisions feel really hard right now. Maybe it's client communication, maybe it's content, maybe it's email, maybe it's follow-up. Just notice it. Notice how often that same kind of decision comes up. Notice how it feels to carry it. You don't have to fix it yet. You don't have to solve it. Just see it for what it is, a repeating decision that's taking up space. That awareness, that's the first step towards containment. And if this is landing for you, if you're realizing that what you've been calling a motivation problem is actually a decision overload problem, you're not done. This is the work we do together here. Not hustling harder, not adding more, but diagnosing where the real strain is and building the kind of structure and systems that actually hold your business without exhausting you. But for now, just notice, that's enough. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you next time. Hey friends, thank you so much for tuning in to the Time for Living podcast today. If this episode inspired you to take action and save time, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a written review and subscribe over on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback means the world to me and helps us reach even more amazing people like you. If you know a friend who needs to hear this message, share this episode with them. And remember, your time is precious, so make every moment count. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep living, and keep making time for what matters most.